Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Larison, President of Carolinas Rehabilitation, and I'm honored to have this opportunity to be here today as we celebrate the groundbreaking of the new Carolinas Rehabilitation Hospital. For us today, the word groundbreaking stands for far more than the literal breaking of ground. It stands for a history of groundbreaking firsts as the leader in caring for the most vulnerable in our community. It stands for groundbreaking care as the first children's hospital in Charlotte. It stands for groundbreaking quality as evidenced by the first rehabilitation hospital in the nation to win the prestigious American Hospital Association's Quest for Quality Award. And it stands for groundbreaking equality as the first integrated hospital in Charlotte. For well over 7 decades, Carolinas Rehabilitation has built a world-class team of physicians, nurses, therapists, allied health and support teammates who have proudly served the needs of our community. Over the past 70 years, the needs of our patients have greatly changed, and with the launch of this project, we will have the first state-of-the-art rehabilitation hospital in the Carolinas, adding yet again to our rich history of groundbreaking firsts. This is an extraordinary day, and I'm so pleased to have all of you joining us both here at the groundbreaking site and watching us virtually. Joining me today in celebration of this exciting legacy of service is Ken Haynes, President of the Greater Charlotte Region for Atrium Health. Ken?
Thank you, Robert. This is a big day. This is a big, beautiful day, in fact, for us as a healthcare system. We're very excited you all have joined us for this wonderful celebration. You know, this facility milestone that we're starting to talk about today around scope, scale, and size, that's not only magnificent and significant, but it's truly fulfilling of our mission of health, hope, and healing for all. This is the start of something big. It's the first step of many in the Atrium Health Organization's modernization of our flagship hospital, the Carolinas Medical Center campus. When the construction is complete, this new specialized hospital will boast some very impressive numbers. We'll have 150,000 square feet replacement hospital with 72 patient rooms, 9,300 square feet for our outpatient clinic, an outpatient therapy challenge garden, an aquatic therapy program, a center for independent living, and so much more. Again, it will be a state-of-the-art facility. You know, the Carolinas Rehabilitation is certainly so much more than a facility and 4 walls. You know, here, wounds will be healed. Medical knowledge will be advanced. Lives will be rebuilt. This is a place of healing, a place where our medical, nursing, and clinical teams can demonstrate their immense skill and their caring hearts. This rehabilitation hospital is a place of innovation with promising breakthroughs in clinical care and research that will benefit generations to come. This new hospital will be a place where compassion will be delivered, where our incredible team will soothe the pain and fear of patients and offer them a place of healing and hope for their future. You know, Robert spoke moments ago about the groundbreaking and what it stands for, and we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the groundbreaking generosity of our outstanding foundation. Please join me in welcoming Armando Chartier, the president of the Atrium Health Foundation, for a few remarks. Armando.
You've now heard a little bit about the history, amazing history, of this rehabilitation center, hospital. Atrium Health Foundation has also played a very important role in shaping that history. In fact, the first $1 million gift that the foundation ever received was in support for the Carolinas Rehabilitation Hospital back in the 1990s. Since that time, philanthropy has played a key role in enhancing the programs and research initiatives at Carolinas Rehabilitation Hospital. Now we're building upon the robust history of this hospital and looking forward to the future as we embark upon the development of a facility that will truly reflect the world-class team that is caring for our patients. Community support has always been instrumental in helping us take our healthcare programs and services to the next level. Sometimes the very existence of a program and facility is directly tied to philanthropy. There will be many opportunities to support this next generation of rehabilitation medicine. We hope that you will join us in this endeavor. Now please welcome Vicki Block, Central Division President of Atrium Health, to share a few remarks. Vicki?
Thank you, Armando. Standing here today, we see the physical beginnings of what will soon become the new Carolinas Rehabilitation Hospital. But what you can't see is the start of a much larger project and a much larger impact on the patients we serve. Atrium Health Carolinas Rehabilitation has the unique privilege of being immersed in all areas of our hospital system. From spinal cord injuries to cancer rehabilitation, the Carolinas Rehab team is integrated in the comprehensive care of so many of our patients that are at a critical juncture in their health and lives. I love that the hope, health, and healing that Carolinas Rehab provides will also now serve as the critical juncture to the future of this campus. When construction is complete, that integration will be at the cornerstone of our new patient experience. A central market solution where together, in one place, we will provide a more streamlined environment for our patients and their families. We have spent more than 70 years in the driver's seat, striving to exceed the expectations of our patients. And with today's groundbreaking, I don't see us taking our foot off the gas anytime soon. Now please welcome Dr. Bill Bochnick, Chief Medical Officer of Carolinas Rehab.
Thank you, Vicki. It has been my pleasure to have spent my entire career as a physical medicine and rehabilitation specialist here at Atrium Health. In 1991, I did not choose Carolinas Rehabilitation based on the facility that I visited during my job interview, but instead it was the people and colleagues that I would have the opportunity to work with that drew me here. However, treating patients at a time when they are most fragile physically, emotionally, and spiritually require not just these dedicated staff, but also a healing and nurturing environment. Over the years of working in our current Carolinas Rehabilitation facility, we have doubled our medical provider complement and expanded our faculty prominence not just locally and regionally, but also nationally and internationally. Our research department is well respected among our rehabilitation colleagues, and we have developed our physical medicine and rehabilitation residency to be one of the top programs in the country. We can only imagine what our new facility will bring to our Department of PM&R, Carolinas Rehabilitation, and Atrium Health. Our upcoming new rehabilitation hospital will provide an environment with a focus on patient experience, enhanced quality of care, and a state-of-the-art facility that will allow for recruitment of the best and the brightest providers. Each of these will help raise the standards of excellence for Carolinas Rehabilitation. Bricks and mortar alone, however, do not make a facility nor ensure exceptional care. The people providing the frontline care and the administrative support that assists the caregivers to obtain the tools they need are equally as important. What drew me to Carolinas Rehabilitation many years ago is also one of the main reasons that I have remained here. That is the ability to work side by side with impassioned colleagues, both in the clinical and administrative realms, that make Carolinas Rehab and Atrium Health a best place to care. I look forward to the journey in front of us and the future successes that this new Carolinas Rehabilitation will bring to our many stakeholders, locally and nationally, and most importantly to the patients and families that we serve. And speaking of journeys, our next speaker has traveled the world as a member of the Adaptive Sports and Adventures program, excelling in such sports as water skiing, hand cycling, basketball, and weightlifting. Although he may say his most exciting adventure is when he joined Atrium Health as a teammate, His story is truly one of overcoming extreme obstacles and using his personal journey as a lesson for others. Please welcome Robbie Parks.
Thank you, Dr. Bachnick. Many of the patients who come to Carolinas Rehab are at their most vulnerable. They've experienced a devastating injury or medical event, and in many cases, life as they know it has been significantly changed. It's news that is not easy to hear, not easy to digest, and not easy to come to terms with. I knew all too well what this feels like. When I was 16 years old, I was involved in a car accident that caused catastrophic injuries to my body. While in the hospital, I was told that due to the severity of my injuries, I was now a burden to my family, I was a burden to society, and I would most likely be dead in 10 years. One of my life's greatest pleasures has been proving that statement wrong. Don't get me wrong, coming to terms with the extent of my injuries was no easy task, and the journey from that day, nearly 40 years ago, to today, has had its fair share of setbacks. For years, the words of those doctors never left my mind, and it's those words that bring me to where I am today, working at Carolinas Rehabilitation and telling my story to those just beginning theirs. I make it my mission that everyone I work with not only understands, but truly believes that they are not a burden. Because life is not over after an injury, and if you only focus on what you have lost, you will not be able to see what you have. And what we have right here is the future of healing. As Dr. Bachnick mentioned earlier, I've had a pretty fun ride these last several years working and playing in the arena of our Adaptive Sports and Adventures program. In fact, I have had more opportunities to do some really amazing stuff having a physical challenge than I would ever have had walking. Speaking of that, take a look at our Adaptive Sports and Adventure program newest video.
The Adaptive Sports and Adventure program is a program that offers various sports at an introductory level, intermediate level, but even into the advanced and competition. ASAP is about what you can do, it's not about what you can't do. It's about opportunity, it's about giving something a try that you didn't think you were able to do. What makes ASAP special is the family that we create and the family that happens when you get an incredible group of people together.
Either you can go for a relaxing ride, or you can progress to a high level.
Adaptive Sports Adventures program has given me so many things. Once I saw myself at the US Open, I had to pinch myself just to be in a tournament like the US Open. It's just mind-boggling. Just call myself the champion. All it ever takes is all you've got. You never know what you can do until you try.
Carolinas Rehabilitation, the people at the Adaptive Sports Program all care about your recovery. They want you to get to that next step. The most important thing here is you do it. Doesn't matter the level, it doesn't matter if you come in first or last, is that you're out there participating, being a part of your life, changing your life. You can make a difference by being the difference. Don't give yourself the choice, and it makes you realize that the only restrictions are the ones you place on yourself.
Robbie, thank you for sharing what ASAP has meant to you and your story. You are truly a remarkable man, and we're so fortunate to have you as part of our Carolinas Rehab team. This morning we gather in a place where health, hope, and healing are the foundation of our mission. Now let us celebrate the actual foundation, taking center stage today as we prepare to break ground on the future of Carolinas rehabilitation. It's incredible to imagine that some 70 years ago, our predecessors stood here, shovel in hand, preparing to do exactly what we are getting ready to do. Just like us, they had a vision to bring care to the most vulnerable in our community. It's a privilege and an honor to continue their legacy in the very place where it all began. Please join me now as we gather for the ceremonial breaking of ground with a blessing from Reverend David Carl.
Sometimes ministers are accused of stating the obvious, but it is obvious that the logo for Atrium Health and the logo for this beautiful facility is the Tree of Life. And all the ancients of all the different world religions would say that at one time everybody lived in proximity to that Tree of Life, simply because it was the place for health, hope, and healing. It's where persons would attend and go to because they needed that regeneration. They knew that they needed that rejuvenation. They knew that preservation was essentially connected to the roots of that tree. And so today it's fitting that as we think about all those who would come to this facility underneath the shade of the Tree of Life, that we would bless not only those who would be coming to be attended to by mind, body, and spirit, but to further bless those families, the community that would be surrounding persons as they make that sojourn, and that we would bless all those who would work in this special place, to be reminded that the work here is not just a career, it's a calling. That the work here is not only a job, but it's a source of joy. So with this holy oil and with this holy water, we bless this ground with the sure and certain hope that the original roots of the tree would extend even this way and would touch all that is of God Almighty's nurture and extended care. We offer this in the name of all that's holy. Amen.
The scope and scale of a project like this requires a great number of talented and dedicated individuals. There are too many to recognize individually, but we would like to recognize the Atrium Health Executive Team, Ken Haynes and Colin Lane, who are with us here today, the Atrium Health Board of Directors, the Atrium Health Foundation, Larkin Eggleston, Ellen Citarella, the architects of NBBJ, DPR Construction, and Rogers Builders for their tireless help in making this project a reality. I believe that this will be the site of many miracles of healing. While the human body is fragile, the spirit is strong, and I feel honored working alongside the healers, the caregivers who make our current hospital such a success and will make this hospital an even greater one. Thank you for being part of our groundbreaking celebration, and let me be the first to say how much we are looking forward to having this state-of-the-art, world-class rehabilitation hospital serving the Carolinas right here in Charlotte.